Okay, I think we're ready. Okay. Buenas noches and welcome to lesson 28 in the 13 weeks of Spanish pilot program. Today it's all about conjugations of what? Imperfect versus preterite. So, do you remember what imperfect and preterite tell us? Let's review what we've already learned. And let's use the verb lavar. Lavar, now the first thing that came to mind for lavar is this. But that's really not it, not in the United States and in most places. I shouldn't say that, not in most places. The people I'm talking to probably do this bloom, bloom, bloom for lavar. But I learned this for lavar. So lavar means to wash. And you can lavar platos, which would be dishes, ropa, which would be clothes, but it's wash. Lavar su cara, but they don't use the word lavar usually to wash your body. Lavar el cuerpo is not so much about washing your body. You might be washing somebody else's body, like unfortunately for a layout of a funeral, for instance. But if you're talking about your own body, they will usually use the word bathe, which is bañar or bañarse. So lavar is to wash clothes, wash plates, wash the car, wash your face. All right, so verbos. Let's use lavar. So the infinitive of lavar is lavar. The present participle, let's change where Julie is, how about that? The present participle of lavar is what? What is present participle? ING. So, lavando, it's an aire verb. You need to put ando instead of ar. You have lavando. Ella está lavando. And that's the progressive tense when you're using estar with the ando. So infinitive, lavar. Present participle, lavando. Progressive, estoy lavando. Ella está lavando. What about past participle and adjectives? So it's not ando anymore, it's ado. So remember there were two ways to use the past participle? There was to use it, I have done something, he lavado el carro, or you can use it as an adjective. El carro lavado está ahí. So ado is for adjectives also, and it also is for the tense that has you doing something. I have done, I did not have, I haven't done such and such. So infinitives, present participle, past participle, present tense, yo lavo, tú lavas, él lava, ella lava, usted lava, nosotros lavamos, vosotros laváis, ellos, ellas, ustedes lavan. And that's how we're going to do this lesson. Gestures. No cheats at all. Just gestures and this. So here we go. Past preterite and past imperfect. What's the diff? Past tenses are either a dot, one time, done, which is the preterite, or a line, a continuous action, or a repeated one. Dot, 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 dot. That's the past imperfect. So, visité Roma ayer. How many times did that happen? Once. Are we talking about are we talking about being there for 24 hours? Not in this sentence. So is that preterite or is that imperfect? It's preterite. One kind of ending. Yo estaba en Roma mientras tú estabas en Florencia. Are we talking one time done? Or are we talking about continuous action, concurrent actions, repeated actions? Which one does this describe to you? It's describing something that happened concurrently. And we have a little bit of a time element. Yo estaba en Roma mientras que tú estabas en Florencia. If there's a time element that hints even that it was over a period of time, we use imperfect. Notice that ending, aba. And, pero siempre estaba en París durante esta época del año. Estaba. Durante esta época del año. Siempre. Repeated action. Past imperfect. So notice the second two sentences deal more with time, passing, whereas the first sentence is the fact. It happened, that's all I'm telling you. That's preterite. So ahora, let's conjugate them. A, ere, e, ere, I, ere verbs. Wait a second. We're going to do this another way. No maps, no charts, just orally. But using, not orally, but orally. Just using your ears. All right, so you got some room? Make sure you have room around you. If you want to stand, that's fine. I don't feel like standing right now. You know what? I am going to stand because I have to set the example for my students. So here we go. Standing up. Gestures, just gestures. This is the preterite tense, something that happened once and done. One and done. Finished. It's just the fact, and all you're mentioning is that the thing happened in the past. All right, so we have a ere verbs. We will work with the verb levantar, which is to raise. But it's not to raise yourself up, it's to raise something else up, like I'm raising this up, or I'm raising this up. That's levantar, but it's past tense. So it happened already, and it happened once. All I'm doing is explaining that it happened. All right, so we will do each conjugation 5 times. All right, and remember, we're just going through it. We're not going to concentrate on memorizing it now. What we're doing is saying it, gesturing who that particular verb belongs to, verb word belongs to. So, yo levanté. There's one, yeah. Yo levanté. Yo levanté. Yo levanté. Yo levanté. Yo levanté. All right. Tú levantaste. Tú levantaste. Tú levantaste. Tú levantaste. Tú levantaste. Oh, sorry. All right. Él levantó. Él levantó. Él levantó. Él levantó. Él levantó. Got that? All right. And that goes for ella. Ella levantó. Usted levantó. All of those three pronouns receive the same verb endings. All right? Nosotros levantamos. Nosotros levantamos. Nosotros levantamos. Nosotros levantamos. Nosotros levantamos. Vosotros. Uy, you know, I don't really know that one. Do you have your 501? Let's see what 501 says. Vosotros, excuse me, vosotros levantasteis. Vosotros levantasteis. Vosotros levantasteis. Vosotros levantasteis. Vosotros levantasteis. Okay. Ellas levantaron. Ellas levantaron. Ellas levantaron. Ellas levantaron. Ellas levantaron. And that goes for ellos levantaron and ustedes levantaron. Okay. Now remember, you'll have access to this forever. So you can always repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it to yourselves. And it's good to be able to just repeat it without looking at anything, because then all of the blood in your brain is going to your ears and your brain in order to remember how to say it. Now, of course, when you are practicing to memorize it, you can have the Spanish in front of you. Don't put the English, just the Spanish in front of you. But use the gestures to remember what you're saying. All right? So that's a-ere. Now i-ere. We'll work with conocer. Do you remember what conocer means? It means to know, but to know intimately, to know a person, not a fact. All right? I know New York. That's conocer. I know the meaning of pie. That's saber, because that's a fact. Okay? All right, so conocer. Yo, and we're only going to do it 3 times just for the time's sake. But it would be good to do it 4 to 5 times. Just hearing it, just so you repeat, 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 repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's what we do. All right? So, yo conocí. Yo conocí. Let's use a metronome, folks. That would be great. Let's use a metronome. Do you folks know what a metronome is? Uh-oh, don't I have it on here? Metronome. I might have it on my other phone. Let me see. A metronome is an instrument that goes tick, tock, tick, tock. It's not a clock. It just helps you to keep a steady beat. If you're a musician, you use it to keep a steady beat. Let me just, I know I have it on here. Metro. Yes. you ever seen an instrument like that? That's metronome. That's too fast. There we go. Can you hear it? So, yo conocí. Yo conocí. Yo conocí. Yo conocí. Yo conocí. Yo conocí. Tú conociste. Tú conociste. Tú conociste. Tú conociste. Él conoció. Él conoció. Ella conoció. Ella conoció. Usted conoció. Nosotros conocimos. Yes, the same. Nosotros conocimos. Just like present. Nosotros conocimos. Nosotros conocimos. I'm gonna have to check the for the ER verbs. Vosotros conocisteis. Vosotros conocisteis. Vosotros conocisteis. Vosotros conocisteis. Ellos conocieron. Ellas conocieron. Ustedes conocieron. Ellas conocieron. Okay, good. Now let's work with E-ed verbs. And fortunately for us, it's the same as with E-ed verbs. Same endings. It's not three sets of endings you have to know. It's only 2 sets of endings that you have to know. So the verb incumplir, which means to not comply with. All right? Yo incumplí. Yo incumplí. Yo incumplí. Yo incumplí. Tú incumpliste. Tú incumpliste. Tú incumpliste. Tú incumpliste. Él incumplió. Ella incumplió. Usted incumplió. Ella incumplió. Okay, excuse me, but my earring was just about to come out. And that one did come out. Excuse me. Okay, we're up to nosotros. Nosotros incumplimos. Nosotros incumplimos. Nosotros incumplimos. Nosotros incumplimos. Vosotros incumplisteis. Vosotros incumplisteis. Vosotras incumplisteis. Vosotros incumplisteis. Ellos incumplieron. Ellas incumplieron. Ustedes incumplieron. Ellos incumplieron. Okay, very good. Repeat, repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Let's go to the imperfect tenses. Happily, happily. There are very few verbs that have irregular endings for the imperfect tense. Now the AR, I had a student that called this the yabba dabba do tense because every time he saw aba, it was imperfect. And that's a great thing to remember about the AR verbs in the imperfect tense. It's aba. You're looking for estaba, hablaba, escapaba, predicaba. All of those is aba, 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 aba. So that's pretty easy to do. Let's do it with levantar. Oops. Yo levantaba. Yo levantaba. Yo levantaba. Yo levantaba. Tú levantaste. Ay, wait, excuse me. I went to preterite, didn't I? Shouldn't have done that. Let's try tú again. Tú levantabas. Tú levantabas. Tú levantabas. Tú levantabas. Él levantaba. Ella levantaba. Usted levantaba. Ella levantaba. Nosotros levantábamos. Nosotros levantábamos. Nosotras levantábamos. Nosotras levantábamos. Vosotros levantabais. Sí. Vosotros levantabais. Vosotros levantabais. Vosotras levantabais. Vosotros levantabais. Ellos levantaban. Ellas levantaban. Ustedes levantaban. Ellos levantaban. Okay, very good. I'm going to check ahead of time. Let me just make sure of this. Entenderéis. No, entenderéis, entendáis, entendíais. Uy, this one I haven't used for vosotros, but it's good for me to know too. All right, so we have ere verb. We're working with conocer, okay? And the imperfect. So it's not conocí, conoció, conociste, conocisteis. No, it's not that way. And it's not abadabadu. It's ia. We're looking for ia at the end or in the middle, except for, no, actually it's in the vosotros too. So here we go. Yo conocía. Yo conocía. Yo conocía. Yo conocía. Tú conocías. Tú conocías. Tú conocías. Tú conocías. Él conocía. Ella conocía. Usted conocía. Él conocía. A ver, él conocía. Nosotros conocíamos, sorry about the gestures, folks. Nosotros conocíamos. Vosotros conocíais. Vosotras conocíais. Ellos conocían. Ellas conocían. Ustedes conocían. Ellos conocían. All right. Yeah, that vosotros is a little tricky, isn't it? It's entendíais. Very tricky. It's a good thing we don't have to really know it unless you happen to live in Spain or Argentina. Then you would have to know it. All right. What if there's another international convention in Argentina or there's one in Spain? You're going to be hearing ice, and you're going, what is that? So just keep it in mind. Work on the other 5 and keep vosotros on the back burner, not in the oven, on the back burner. All right, ir or ir, incumplir. Make sure you say in, not im, and not in. It's in. Smile when you say I. Incumplir. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Where did it go? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Incumplir. Yo incumplía. Yo incumplía. Yo incumplía. Yo incumplía. Tú incumplías. Tú incumplías. Tú incumplías. Tú incumplías. Él no incumplía. Él no incumplía. Él no incumplía. Ella no incumplía. Nosotros incumplíamos. Nosotros incumplíamos. Nosotros incumplíamos. Nosotros incumplíamos. Vosotros incumplíais. Vosotros incumplíais. Vosotros incumplíais. Vosotros incumplíais. Ellos incumplían. Ellas incumplían. Ustedes incumplían. Ellos incumplían. How was that for an exercise? I think that was a good exercise. I think that's how you should memorize your verbs, unless something else works better. But this way, you're using your whole body to learn. And when you use your whole body to learn, you're involving both sides of your brain. Why learn verbs with one side of your brain when you can learn them with both sides of your brain? Of course, you can do other exercises, throw socks into the air, do it, juggle with balls, do it with somebody else throwing a ball back to you, a beach ball, excuse me. But use more of your body to learn. All right? Okay, you can sit down now because I'm going to. So that's the present tense for you. And now you have homework. So do you have two different colored pencils or pens or markers or what have you? What I'd like you to do is find a short text only because you have another class tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I want you to circle all of the past endings that you find. Now, in order to do that, you are going to have to look up the past tense endings, but I'm going to leave that to you. I'm not going to put it into this PowerPoint. If you decide to take the full class, of course, then yes, you would have it in the PowerPoint. I would put the actual charts in, but you can look it up in 501 Spanish Verbs or any online Spanish verb website. All right, so that's past tense. Next class, I'm going to look to tomorrow. You're not going to work. Have I intrigued you? Come tomorrow and find out what I mean. 8 o'clock, a las 8. Hasta la próxima.